everybody, and welcome to the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy, Don Benito. And in this week's catch up, we are going to be talking about all the madness that has been happening at Manchester United this far. It is crazy to think that the great Manchester United is where it is right now. Fans are divided, ex-players are going in on the players, people are turning on the manager. Nobody is going in on Ineos. Nobody is going in on the GLAZZERS. Nothing. It is just the players. It means Ruben Amorim needs to change his tactics. Ruben needs to change this, or he risks getting the sack. Ruben this, Ruben that. Nobody's going in on the players anymore. Like, this is, I don't even want to say deja vu, but this is history repeating itself on a very ridiculous level, because this exact same thing happened last season under Erik ten Hag, where people turned on the gaffer, refused to put the blame on the players, put every blame on Erik ten Hag, and they're putting it on Ruben Amorim now. Like, what do you guys want? Manchester United fans, what do you want? Or are you listening to the other fans that are confusing you? What's going on? We are Manchester United. We stick to ourselves. We stick to our guns. We don't get persuaded by small clubs like, nah. Yes, we are going through the trouble that we're going through. We're going through a very difficult time. Like, I think, and I'm sure a lot of you think too, or would agree with me when we say this is by far the worst performances we've ever gotten from Manchester United. And then you add the leaks, players are not happy. Like, can we unpack? Can we unpack? Let's go straight into it. Right. So, the biggest topic I wanted to talk about today, or this week, or something that I want to push on for moving forward, is I am sick and tired of people changing their tune on the gaffer. You want him to change his formation for what? For who? For why? For where? How does it work that a manager that has got a very successful style of play, a very successful strategy, has used this strategy in previous clubs and has been successful? Like, this is not something where somebody is experimenting with a formation or experimenting with alternating positions. No, this is somebody that when they got their license or their coaching license, this was his formation in his head. This is what he created. Now, before Ruben Amorim came to Manchester United, we complained about style of play, which at the time I used to get annoyed because I never used to understand what people wanted. Nah, it's the style of play. 4-2-3-1. I'm like, look, yes, you can use the whole style of play, but Erik ten Hag had a different style of play. Erik ten Hag had a 4-3-2-1, yes, or a 4-3-3, because that's what he used when he was at Ajax, right? He came to Manchester United, tried to implement it, tried to get that intensity in. What did he get? What did he get? Nothing. No cooperation. Actually, I lie. He got what we call manager bounce back. This moment where, I don't know, it is manager bounce back. It is, I'm trying to define it. It is the moment when players have been unshackled and they're trying to swipe the old manager to try and prove to the old manager that your tactics were shit and that you were restricting us. So in this manager bounce back, we're going to show you what we're capable of. It is a very weird line that these footballers played. Erik ten Hag had that. Now, I'm not completely saying that he had a manager bounce back, because I like to remember history. During that first season when we did the business, everything was flowing. We had a full squad. We didn't have very much injuries. There was this there was this togetherness, this siege mentality that we had at Manchester United. It was like all for one and one for all. Like, you come for one of us, we're coming for you. Like, Manchester United was on a roll. We came third. We won the Carabao Cup. And I think we also won the Community Shield or something like that. Yeah. Oh, no. No. Only the Carabao Cup. Yes. And things were going good. Now, at the moment when they're supposed to take Erik ten Hag to the next level, what do? They did it. Well, they did spend, but they didn't spend accordingly. Because you look at the problems that we're facing now. Look, I've talked about Rasmus Højlund plenty of times. I've said, like, I think Rasmus Højlund, for me, the first season, when I saw, I think it was like the first couple of games, and I was telling D, I was like, I see it, but you know what? It's cool. Like, I was hoping that Rasmus Højlund was going to be the it guy. He's going to be the next guy. But in the world of football that we're living in right now, there is no time. We don't have time. And we thought we had time with Erik ten Hag. The build of the club, when we thought that, we're going to start building something with this club. That was with Erik ten Hag. We brought Rasmus Højlund in. Erik ten Hag brought in Mainoo. He brought in Garnacho. He brought in these players and was trying to create a core. He was trying to create a youth core. You remember the iconic picture of Garnacho, Mainoo, and Højlund sitting there? And Kobe Mainoo said he kept it perfectly. He was like, that picture will be iconic if we go on to do something special or something big. And he's absolutely right. Now, you look at that hype from that season. Where is that hype gone? How did it just disappear? I'll tell you how. Because you guys have a lot of Manchester United fans have this mentality of forgetting things. Second season comes in. Preseason, bullshit. Same bullshit. Injuries. We pick up injuries on top of that. So we don't start the season well. I don't even know how many times I'm going to keep preaching this, because I feel like I'm like a broken record. You know, I think I've said this before, where I try to remind people of how our journey got to where we got to. You know, don't forget that first season, what's his name? Marcus Rashford, what was he doing? 30-goal season. Banging them things inside, left, right, and center. Not even messing about. Pagat. Rashford in, he gets benched because he's late, comes on as a substitute, bang, goal against Wolves. Rashford was unstoppable. And we had Anthony or whatever. Like, the club was going through what we thought was going to be a rebuild. And then we get struck by injuries, insane injuries, like mad injuries. We try to explain to people that it is impossible for a team to function without its core. Nah, people don't care. Nah. You can't keep giving these excuses of injuries. Yet we had 31 defensive pairings that season. Like, our defense got flipped and chopped and changed 31 times. The midfield core that helped Erik ten Hag win and do things in the previous season, all of them were injured and were failing to get back on top. Now it means we're going to start bringing in players. Kobe Mainoo, hey. It was a disaster. It was a disaster that we never recovered from. And why are people forgetting that? Why are people just assuming that, this was just Erik ten Hag's mess and we are here because of that? No! We didn't recover from that moment. We didn't recover. And now the club was supposed to do the right things to help the club move forward. In comes Ineos with their bullshit. And the moment they walked through that, you know, when Ineos walked through that door, I was like, I don't trust these guys. I don't. Because they just smelt of GLAZZERS. And I said, you know what? We had, I don't even remember if I had this conversation with Pastor D or whatever. But I remember thinking to myself, look, the only way our club can move forward is if we get full ownership from the Sheikh. That was my deal. I was like, if we get the Qatar money, we are sorted. All these other petty bullshit that we are going through right now will die. It will die. This thing of FFP and PSR, those billionaires, those Sheikh Jazim and them were going to sort, like they're going to pay our debt. They were going to create income streams for us to be able to fund this team and get players that we need. They were going to do it. None of this thing of cutting players and costs and stuff and literally destroying Manchester United. Like that's how it looks. I know maybe behind closed doors you guys are saving the club, and we are still yet to see that. We are still yet to see the evidence of your work, Ineos. You guys coming in there and doing the things that you're doing. We're still yet to see that. I am personally waiting to see your work, because at this, like, since you've arrived, I've seen Foko. Even your list, even your strategies of how you wanted, you guys are flip-flopping and changing, and it makes no sense. You see a manager that comes in with enthusiasm, positivity. Man, he young. Now he's looking 2 decades old. He looks like he wants to fight with everybody. He's pissed off. The same thing we saw with Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag came in with energy. We were like, yes, Dutch Maestro, yes, we are going to do this. He wanted to install discipline in the club. He wanted to do a lot of, he was doing them, but he was getting resistance. Oh, don't even get me started. While Erik ten Hag was going through this disastrous season, he had off-pitch drama that he had to deal with. So you can imagine that season, what football do you expect to be played? Injuries, drama outside the pitch, and then, like, what? There was no focus. They want to sack Erik ten Hag. Then Ineos comes in. They want to sack Erik ten Hag, but they're not sure. They go out. They do shopping, you know. They go window shopping. They speak to Tuchel. They speak to who. They speak to guys. And then they're like, nah. We don't like, this job, something is not right. Nah. Then what do? They're like, you know what, no, we're going to keep Erik ten Hag. We're going to keep him. Mind you, at the time when we were waiting for Erik ten Hag to be sacked or given his new contract, we were losing our mind as fans. We were going berserk because we didn't understand what was going on. We wanted our club to move forward because we needed answers. We needed the football part of this journey to continue. You understand? But then with Erik ten Hag on limbo, it was like we didn't know what was going to happen. And that was what was happening. They give Erik ten Hag the job. Erik ten Hag, to his credit, you know, and I know a lot of people are not going to give Erik ten Hag his credit, but I am. This man started this season very, very, very well. Unfortunately, we were not scoring. We were just not scoring. You know what's wild about this story? What's absolutely crazy about this story is that when you read the stories that are coming up, when you listen to Benny McCarthy talking about, listen, before Rasmus Højlund, we wanted Harry Kane, we wanted Benjamin Sesko, we wanted Victor Osimhen, we wanted Kolo Muani. When you hear about those names, right? You listen to those names of strikers that Erik ten Hag wanted, that he had put there and saying that, listen, in order for Manchester United to move forward, we need these players. And they refuse. They're like, nah, too expensive, or whatever excuse they gave. They were like, no. We want someone younger who has a little bit of injury prone in him. We want him. Yes. We want that Rasmus Højlund, who is not a big name, we want to make him a big name. We want to unearth the next gem in football. That is what we want to do. We want to bring Rasmus Højlund to Manchester United, where he will become this big player. And then we would have discovered the next great super striker. That was their fucking idea. Then what do? We go and spend 73 million pounds on this baby, who, by the way, right now is heartbreaking to watch. It breaks my heart watching Rasmus Højlund. Like, I'm no more, it's not anger. My heart is breaking because he's there wearing the number 9. He's there, 23 or 20, whatever years old. He's got the whole weight of Manchester on his shoulders. I can imagine the pressure that Rasmus Højlund must be feeling right now. It is immense. And to make matters worse, he's not performing. He's not scoring. I was a striker. I know exactly what happens when you are a striker and you don't score. Game 1, game 2, game 3, you don't score. What happens? Your confidence starts to get rattled. Like, am I good? Why is it that when I'm trying to do what I used to do before, it's not working? These things happen. It's form. But you need to get yourself out of that as a professional football player. If you're playing at the highest league, at the highest level, I don't expect them to go through these things. Or am I old? Am I too old school? I don't know. And then now, you look at Rasmus Højlund. How many goals has he scored for Manchester United since being here? I think 20 or 20-something, you could say, since being here. You look at Harry Kane. You look at Victor Osimhen. Kolo Muani right now has moved to Juventus and he's doing the business. Chesko. Kane has scored 73 goals in 72 appearances for Bayern Munich. Let's let that marinate. Let it marinate. 72 goals in 73 games or whatever. But it's right there. He has scored that amount of goals. I don't think we have scored that amount of goals as a collective at Manchester United. As a collective, I don't think we scored that amount of time since he has been at Bayern Munich. I don't think so. Kolo Muani is tearing up the Serie A right now at Juventus. He has hit the ground running. They spoke about the kind of player that he is, his character, tireless workaholic. You know, he's that player that, you know, when you look at players that, ideal players that a player with a strong mentality that when you bring him into a situation, he's not going to be really heavily influenced by the nonsense that's around there. You know, I don't think, maybe he would have eventually, maybe a year or two after. But in his first season at Manchester United, I don't think Kolo Muani would have fallen to the pandemic that always keeps on taking players there at Manchester United. I don't think so. All these strikers, Victor Osimhen has scored, I don't know how many goals for Galatasaray. I think 20, 22 and 23 or 24. Like, these are ridiculous numbers. We don't have that. Now, Erik ten Hag wanted these strikers. He wanted these strikers. That season where I'm talking about, where I'm saying that we were not, the beginning of the season, we were not scoring goals. We were not. I had this debate or this conversation with Pastor D. We were like, and you know, that conversation came at the perfect time because it was a debate on like who should be starting and if whether or not our front three is good enough, you know, because if they're good enough, they should fucking start scoring. They should score goals because everybody else in the Premier League, all the other front threes are scoring goals. That was the gist of the conversation, you know. And I'm like, no, fuck this. We're not. Paul Scholes said that those guys are not good enough, and I took it, I digested it, I deeped it, and I'm like, you know what? Paul Scholes could be onto something here, because we sit here as fans just begging these guys to do something for us, for them to do rubbish. So I looked at them and I watched them and I'm like, nah, these guys are not good enough. Because and I looked at Liverpool, I looked at Arsenal, I looked at Newcastle, I looked at Aston Villa, I looked at Bournemouth, everybody else, their team, like how their players are playing. And I'm like, nah, we've got names. They're not good enough. And then we're like, but we are creating all these chances. I remember the Brighton game. I remember the Tottenham game. I remember the Liverpool game. It was such a bad game. We got smacked 3, but it could have been 0-0 or 2-1 or 1-0. Or we could have even scored goals if those guys cared. You looked at the Crystal Palace game where we absolutely dominated the game, just didn't win. Erik ten Hag was like, our record in the Premier League was good. We were not conceding goals. Onana at one point was leading in the Golden Glove. Explain that to me. That was this season. Last year. Yeah, last year. Like the first half. That was this season. We were conceding least goals. Our defense was proper. We had elevated our defense from what it was the previous season, which was dismal, which, by the way, didn't do bad compared to our forwards. Erik ten Hag identified the problem. Forward, we're not scoring. Now, I don't know if Ahmad, and that's another thing, that if there's one thing I would, I have a bone to pick with Eric, is the Ahmad situation. I don't think he fully explained it to us why he was rotating. I just assumed for him. I have this tendency of when I see a manager make a call, I don't just immediately dive into the manager and start shitting on him and say, why? Why did you do this? Nah, I try to deep the situation. Like some people never understood. Even till today, people still throw jabs. Oh, that bold fraud who put Mazraoui as number 10. Did you even deep that game? Did you even understand? So that's my issue. We forget little details. We were good. There was nothing wrong. We were just not fucking scoring goals. We had Garnacho. Garnacho is a very bizarre one, because he didn't start the season. He was coming off the bench and he was doing good. I don't know why he didn't maintain that. Rashford then, boom, fades. Then it's just, shagara bagara. It was just like, what the hell? And that's when these players were now, because they were now losing, they needed to project something. They need to take out their frustration. They stopped running. They stopped looking like they cared. You saw it in their faces. Like it was just one of those things, And then Ineos comes in, we're gonna sack him. No, we're gonna sack him. We're looking for a new manager. Confusing people. I'm sorry. I am sorry. As Manchester United fans, I think we need to turn up. We need to crank up the heat when it comes to the Glazers and Ineos. I'm sorry, I am Ineos out. I'm there. Ineos out, baby. Glazers out, baby. I'm sorry. Go. We can't have this. And I kid you not, Manchester United will not progress. We are not going to get back to the summit that we thought we would get to as long as we are run by these guys. I promise you. These guys are looking at Manchester United as a marketing golden goose, which is true, and I understand that, but we need to reflect that on the pitch. And we care more about the pitch than what it's doing out there. We don't care. Manchester United is already what it is. People support Manchester United because of the past. It will never go away. But you now need to start fixing the team. And how do we fix the team? You need to invest. We don't need owners that are taking dividends, that are taking money out of the club. And then we have to keep on paying interest for a debt that they brought into the club when they were buying us. They bought this club with debt and have created a situation where, it's only Sheikh Jassim that wants this, that will be able to handle this because he's got billions. He can pay off that debt. But normal civilians, normal people, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, how the hell are we ever going to get out of this toxic relationship? Because we are in an abusive, toxic, gaslighting fucking relationship with our owners. That's where we are at. These guys think we are Delulu. And we are behaving like Delulu. We're behaving Delulu because when we don't protest and when we don't bite back and when we don't fight against these guys, they're like, look at these Delulu people. And then they will throw us a signing, you know, like, take this expensive signing or take this. Enjoy it. You needed it. You know, you need a player. Who's the player? We don't know. Like, is it an Amorim signing? Is it somebody that we've been scouting? You know, a player that you just don't even know where it just come from. But now Ineos and the Glazers, they've formed a strategy. They've been watching this guy. You're like, from when? And you know what? Can I just say this? Why the fuck did we not do our homework as fans in the beginning when Ineos came in? Why didn't we? Why didn't we watch what they were doing at Nice? Why? Why? Because I remember at the time, those that were speaking of it, because those that were saying that Glazers were going to come and bring change, they were referencing Nice. We didn't check. There is bullshit happening in that club. Nothing. Fuck all. Zero. Like, ever since they took over Nice, Nice has been bad. How did nobody check that? How did we? I blame myself. Like, if there's one thing I blame myself personally, you know, is that I had this mentality. And which is why I want to appeal to people. I want us to join this fight. Because I was sitting there thinking to myself, nah, we will sort ourselves out. We will figure ourselves out. We are Manchester United. We can't keep staying in like a little rut. We will figure it out. That was my mentality. Something will happen. We'll sort ourselves out. Nah. I could have gone to Google, check Nice, see what these guys have been doing, see how Nice has been progressing, whether it is in Champions League, Europa, Conference League, in the Ligue 1 in France. You know, check how they've been progressing. Check how much money these guys have been spending. They have been spending. They spent money on Nice, but I guess it was the wrong way. It is not a good club. The Nice fans are not happy with Ineos. So how the fuck did we sit there and just be like, oh, Ineos, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, childhood Manchester United fan. Rubbish. This guy wanted to buy Chelsea. This guy wanted to buy what? This guy wanted to buy what? He was a mercenary. He was an old British man, bored out of his mind, needs a British club to own and do his thing. That's what it was. You can't sit here and tell me that somebody who is a childhood supporter of Manchester United cannot see what is happening at the club right now. That is a lie. That is a motherfucking lie. Because it is impossible. You give me 10 billion right now. Let's just hypothetically, I of course, you know, also throwing it out into the universe, you know. Let's just say I was a billionaire, right? 44 billion. I don't know why this number always sticks in my head, 44 billion. But let's just say I was this billionaire. At this current moment, I would give the Glazers 10. 10. Because I don't want them to, I don't want them to have an excuse to stay, to keep their hands in this club. No excuse. Get these motherfuckers out. Here's 10 billion. You guys thought that this club would reach this? Take it. Money is too much. Take it. Full sec. Take this 10 billion. Go. And then take that 10 billion that is still in my 44 billion and just say, Manchester, drop it like it's hot. Obviously, there are rules, and of course, I need the money can't, I just can't drop the money, but you get my drift. The point is, I want the club to succeed. I'm investing into the team, putting money back into the team. Not this thing of just taking money and sitting there and just, no, there's no money, no. Fuck that. So what I'm going to say to you guys, Manchester United fans, today, my message is, listen, we thought that Glazer fight is over. In fact, let me put it this way, the Glazers tried to make us forget. That's the best way I can put it. They tried to make us forget about them. They brought in Ineos. Ineos sat there like little idiots and thought that they could, I don't know what they thought, but they thought that they could do something big. I'm sorry, you have failed. And I don't care about what you've done. I don't care about the scouting that we're hearing. I don't care about all of that. You guys are giving us signs of an organization that is not organized. You guys don't get it. You know, I have this even strange feeling that the sacking of Dan Ashworth, like that was about, like, I feel like he's more even of a football player than Sir Dave Brailsford and Sir Jim. He's more of a football guy than those guys. Or even some of the guys that are busy chilling there, hiding behind the, you know. I think that. I'm frustrated because the arguments and the fight and what we are arguing against as fans, it's the wrong thing. It's the wrong fucking thing. We need to be going after the Glazers. We need to be going after Ineos. Let's get these guys out of our club. Let's get them out. I promise and guarantee you, Sheikh Jazim still wants to buy Manchester United. Even if it's not Sheikh Jazim, there could be another billionaire out there. You know, I remember there was a time, I don't know if it was Steve Jobs or Apple wanted to buy Manchester United. You know, having Apple, they're like, yo, if these guys are going to invest, why not? We just don't need people that don't look like they know what they're doing. I'm looking at Ruben right now, Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim looks 60, first of all. And then he looks like he's got the wind taken out of him. His charismatic way of communicating to us is slowly diminishing. Just like how Erik ten Hag's star was dying. He was all smiles before. It's the football. Smiling. Yeah. This is Manchester. Big club. Happy. Then slowly he's pulling faces like, hey, you. This is my way. Ruben Amorim is going there. But he's a sweet guy, you know. He probably will lose his shit in the dressing room, but I don't know. We're still yet to see if he's gonna lose his mind. But I think he will. I think so, because the way these journalists work, the journalists move, they're nuts. So guys, please, if you're a Manchester United fan and you see this is a public service announcement. Please join the 888 group or something like that, 82 something, 88 group, the guys that are going to be protesting at Manchester United, at Manchester. Let's join them. Let's support them. Let's join the movement. Let's not sit there and be quiet. Let's sound the alarms. Let's let the Glazers and Ineos know that, listen, we're not happy. We don't care what you guys do. Let them go out of their way to do something for us, because they keep telling us, you see, if you want to know how bullshit this club is, just pay attention to how they talk to us. They'll tell us there's no money. Then all of a sudden there's money that has appeared to buy something or to do something or to do this. So you will see, right now they're telling us that there's no money, PSR, we need to obey whatever, right? That's what they say. Then we turn up, we crank it up. We turn up the heat when it comes to the protests. We show these guys that, listen, we're not fucking around. You guys are taking us for a ride. Like, you guys think we are Neanderthals. Like, you guys think we're really stupid fans. Like, that's how I see it. And that's how you, as a Manchester United fan, should see it. Don't sit there and think that, nah, those ones in Manchester will do the job. Now I'll just continue buying their jerseys. You continue subscribing and watching their shit. Fuck, you're enabling them. You are part of the problem. Those that don't understand their club right now, there are a lot of Manchester United fans that don't understand their club. Please educate yourself. Educate yourself on how we have been, how we've got to this point. How did we get to this point? Go back. There are videos. There are people talking about Ineos, GLAZZERS, how they've destroyed this club, how they've put us in the situation that we are in right now. Please educate yourself. If you are a Manchester United fan, don't be a Manchester United fan by name. Don't be a Manchester United fan by, the glory days, or just hang. Play your part. Even if it means sharing a video, a video like this, share it. Maybe there's another Manchester United fan that agrees, that says, what, let me stop. We're trying to do protests, but we can't, because we cannot be one. There is power in numbers. If you've never known that, you will know it. There is power in numbers. If we all refuse, if we all come together and support our guys on the ground, I think Manchester United, I think those guys will listen to us. We need a conversation. We need transparency between the club and the owners. We need it. And the best way to establish that is for us to sound the alarm, to make noise, to create problems. Not violence, of course, but you get what I'm saying. Stop going to the games. I know you guys are season ticket holders. You paid all your life. But trust me, that season ticket that you hold, for as long as these guys are in charge and still there at Manchester United, you are going to continue you're going to be paying for us to go and see bullshit. You're going to be paying to go and lose. That's what you're doing. You're enabling the guys to continue losing, continue this. Fuck. Is this how Arsenal felt? Damn. Being an Arsenal fan, respect. Respect. I can't take this anymore. I can't take this. I watch my football club and I get mad. Not at them. It's not their fault. Ruben, I've got no problem with Ruben. Everything that he does, everything that he's been doing, I've got absolutely no problem with it. Yes, one or two changes there and there, but he's the manager. And we as fans, as human beings that are not managers, we need to get off our high horse, because we are not fucking managers. Until we have that license saying that, yes, we qualified, we got our badges, only then can we say that we have the license, or we can talk, like really criticize these managers. Because I sit there and think we are really entitled. We sit there, talk smack. This manager needs to change his tactics. We need to go back to a 4. What? If you listen to Ruben Amorim very clever or very well, he said that his formation, his 3-4-3 formation, it is created in such a way that it can dissolve and can be diluted into so many different formations. Why are people not listening? He can adapt. He's not refusing. But he needs these players to get it. Do you understand? They need to get it. They need to understand the message. They're not. That's where the problem is. That's why we need new players. And for new players to come to Manchester, we need Ineos. And for Ineos, we need the GLAZZERS. Do you see the chain in command? Do you see? If Ineos don't provide the funds, then nothing comes down. Simple math. Simple. January transfer window. Anthony gone. Okay, I understand. Because we have Ahmad there, right? We have got who else? Dallo. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the plan was. I don't know what the plan was. Rashford, we understood that. But like, we don't need that energy. Go. Malasia, gone. Who's coming in? Patrick Dogu. I. Aiden Heaven. I mean, he's a kid, you know. But wait, is he going to be part of the first team? Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anybody? Any? No. So you're not replacing Anthony? You're not replacing Rashford? If you go back to our videos, check. We ranted. We complained. We cried. Why? 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 Why are you not replacing? Why are you not replacing? Then the biggest bombshell comes in. Ahmad, boom, out for the season. you know, that yo. Like what? Our best player, the best winger, out for the rest of the season. Are you fucking kidding me? Wait, what? How? Wait. Anthony goes to Real Betis, and what does he do? Man of the match performance after man of the match performance after man of the match performance after bloody man of the match performance. Guys, we are looking and complaining at the wrong thing. You guys are there busy fighting amongst, hey, United this. You see some of the people that used to hate on Erik ten Hag. I don't know where they are looking. Like those are hey, the ball fraud. I'm looking at them now, like, when are you? But what's happening with? Not that I'm saying that I'm against Ruben, but nah. And these are the same people. You see, my biggest issue with fans that just complain with no suggestions, with no input, with no the time when they were trying to sack Erik ten Hag, people were like, just get rid of him. Get rid of the ball fraud. Just get rid of him. Who do you want in? I don't know. Carlo Ancelotti is there. Are you fucking serious? Carlo Ancelotti is in the middle of a Galactico season. He's doing his thing. How the fuck do you think you're going to just uproot him and bring him to Manchester? So you see, they were just complaining with no fucking ideas. They blamed the lack of not scoring goals and all that stuff to Erik ten Hag. I get it. Which was bullshit, by the way. Because you can't attribute not scoring goals to the gaffer. Because we're still not scoring. Is it Ruben Amorim's fault right now that we're not scoring goals? Garnacho. Missing sitters. Yay, the kid with the highest ceiling. Yay, Garnacho. Yay. Man. You know what? I'm going to say something here, right now. Maybe it's going to rub a lot of you wrong. I don't care. I honestly don't care. But I need to say it just for my sanity. Alejandro Garnacho is a good player, right? But I think I've seen enough to know that that's it. If he's going to get better, it's going to be within the frame of what he is doing right now. I'm sorry. There were some guys trying to compare Garnacho to Yamal. Look at Yamal. First 100 games as a 17-year-old, he is levels. Now, I understand we Manchester United fans, we love our players. When we indoctrinate ourselves, when a player indoctrinates himself with us or sits with us or becomes part of the family, we love them until death do us part. But Garnacho is just another one of those players that if he doesn't fix His fundamentals right now, he's not going to progress. I'm telling you. If there's a player that Garnacho needs to watch his career, in fact, if I had access to Garnacho right now, this is what I would tell him. Yo, Garnacho, go and follow Vinicius Junior's journey at Real Madrid. How Vini came through the ranks. Not through the ranks, when they brought him from Brazil and he came in his first season, the player that he was. The player that Vinicius Junior was then is Garnacho. Right now. Except, yeah, Garnacho can score goals there and there. But Vini was completely kaput, like, yo. But he was raw, you know. Garnacho makes things happen, yes. But his mind is still a baby. And we keep putting so much responsibility on him. You know, when they were talking about, hey, let's get Garnacho to Napoli. And then I read the story about Garnacho. I read that Garnacho, the reason why he didn't go, or the reason why Napoli didn't actually do much to try and persuade him, is because of what he was asking. He was asking for a lot of money as a kid. And then at that point, I just thought to myself, wait, what? So if, let's just say, Napoli met Garnacho's demands, Garnacho would have bounced. He would have left. Now, I don't know if he wants to stay in Manchester till death do him part. I don't know. But he would have left. And here's the craziest thing. When is it not, like, how often do you see personal terms not being agreed between a club and a player? How often do you see that? And that was the situation with Garnacho, Napoli. So I don't know if Garnacho's mind is still like, I could have left Manchester. He feels rattled. I don't know. But we can't put all our faith in this kid. We can't. I am sorry to say this right here, right now. We can't. If there's a player that you can do that to, it's Ahmad. The best winger we have at Manchester United right now, right here, right now, is Ahmad. Ahmad is better than Garnacho, is better than Anthony, is better than Rashford. He's the best. We can sit here and debate until the cows come home. I can. He's the best. Look at Ahmad's presence right now, how we are missing it. You look at that game against Tottenham, I can guarantee you in the back of your mind, you were like, if Ahmad was on this pitch, this game would have been a different scenario. Because he, out of everybody, just stands out all the time. He is the one with the highest ceiling, not Garnacho. He is the one to take us to the next level, not Garnacho. Garnacho is a good squad player. I like him. You know, I'm not trying to say that let's sell him, but I'm comfortable if he goes. Like, I don't have a problem. And you know what? He will go out there and do his thing because he will be not wearing a Manchester United jersey. I think we have established that. I think we all have seen that now. That the moment you get off these United colors, somehow you just grow wings. You know, like a phoenix. You know, and you're gone. Players just fly away. So that would be good for him. If he wants to elevate his career and maybe play for Real Madrid one day, that is the course. But at Manchester, nah, he will frustrate. He will frustrate and frustrate and frustrate. I am tired of Garnacho. Not in that sense, like, I want him out of my team. No. I'm tired of him being older than other kids that are doing the business out there. You know what I mean? Like, he's young, but he's older than some of the kids that are doing mad things right now. And you'll be like, why are you not doing the same? Why do we keep on praising you and putting you in these conversations that quite frankly, you don't belong. You don't. If you're playing like this, you don't. You look at Garnacho right now. Who is he benching? Who is he benching? Nobody. Nobody. He needs to play. He needs to cement. He needs to cement his position in that team. I'm looking at that starting lineup with everybody fit, and Ahmad is one of the people that, if he's not, like, if he's one of the first names there. But I cannot say that about Garnacho. I cannot say that about Rasmus Højlund. You understand? So we need to trust in the gaffer to do the right thing. The Garnacho situation, like I said, it's frustrating, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. I can't say much about that Garnacho situation. But other than that, as Manchester United fans, like I said, we need to unite. We are Manchester United. Let's unite, be united, and stand against this evil. Because it's evil what they're doing to our club. I'm not, like, look, my daughters, am I going to continue showing them my frustration when I'm watching football? Like, look at daddy. Daddy's crazy. He's punching the TV. Do I want that in the future? No. But as long as these guys are there, that's what I'm going to get. As long as Ineos or the Glazers still have their tentacles in Manchester United, that's what my future looks like. Frustration. Premier League after a decade or 2 decades. That is the trajectory that we'll be following. Then we'll be winning these little cup games and what. That's where we're going. And can I just reiterate this thing? If Manchester United was to do anything this season, when I say anything, I'm talking about win a trophy or basically win a trophy. Carabao, FA Cup. It's not because it has anything to do with the Glazers. It's not because it has anything to do with Ineos. It's because it's got everything to do with Ruben and everything to do with his staff and bloody everything to do with the players that are there. No one else. No one else. They shouldn't take credit for fucking shit, but they will. They will. And they'll be like, we've been supporting our manager. No. Bullshit. That's where we are at. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Glory Reds podcast. Please join the fight. Don't sit there as a Manchester United fan and think, nah, this will not come to me or this will not affect me. You are watching the games every weekend. You are. You're getting frustrated. You're going into vlogs to feel, you're going into these group chats and stuff to feel like you're not alone, to listen to other people complain because you are frustrated. Don't join the fight. Join it. Let's spread the word. Let's get these Glazers out. Let's look for a common word. You know, I've been thinking about a couple of words. You guys will tell me. I don't know if this video of mine will spread or what, but I have come up with a couple of 3 names that we can take them out. You know, there's glazed, there's glout. You know, glout, it's glazers and it's like a gout. I don't know. I just thought, it made sense. You know how gout, well, I don't know how painful gout is, but I've been told that gout is painful. So cloud or glazed. Like, we are being glazed. We are being glazed. We have been glazed. I have been glazed. You have been glazed. Everybody's been glazed. Every United fan has been glazed. Like, we are being glazed by the Glazers. So if there's anything that we need to start doing, let's come with let's think of something that unites us. What is it that these guys are doing to us? And also, can we also shut these ex-players? Gary Neville is taking a piss. Rio Ferdinand is taking a piss. Ex-players sometimes make me sick. This is the people that I used to admire. I used to sit there watching these legends do the business. Now when I listen to them talk, man, I just wish, my guy, stick to what you know. Football was all you knew. Stop talking. Because whatever's coming out of your mouth, it is absolutely bullshit. I'm angry at Gary Neville for not... Everybody around or surrounding Manchester United doesn't want to talk about the Glazers. That's my problem. Gary Neville is part of this whole bullshit infrastructure, what with the Glazers. Doesn't speak bullshit on them. What will he do? He will go in on the gaffer. Come on, guys. Do you trust this? Wake up. I am going to drop the link of the group, the protesting group, in the description. Please join them. Check them on Twitter or X, Instagram. Let's take this fight to the Glazers. We don't want to be glazed no more. We need that Sheikh money. We need that Abu Dhabi money. That Qatar money. Right? That's what we need in Manchester United right now. We don't need people that are stingy. No. Because we want to win. And the only way you can win is if you buy good players. And the only way if you buy good players if you spend. So we need that at Manchester United. Thank you, everybody, for listening to my rant. It is Don Benito. Peace.